Ndamukong Suh, who's on a world tour. As we know, and our own NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport had previously reported that the Jets' offer was the largest on the table for Suh. It sounds like what happened with Cousins. Basically, they let the deal expire. Was that a good idea? And what's going on with Suh?
You know what, Kay? I know that this free agency period, it turns into this arms race. We got this guy, we got this guy, we got the coolest names. Sometimes just because you can afford something doesn't mean you should buy it. You may be able to buy a 12-bedroom house, but you only need 6. Don't do it. I like that the Jets rescinded this offer, just the optics of it, okay? What the Jets are doing, especially in defense, is very young, very cool, based on a lot of chemistry. Say what you want about Ndamukong Suh, good player, very expensive. They've gotten rid of guys like Sheldon Richardson, Muhammad Wilkerson on the same D-line, in part because of chemistry issues. We've seen the Jets at this table, on the field. They love each other, they fight for each other, and if you bring in an older, very expensive, very famous guy who's going to get all the media attention, I don't know if that disrupts that chemistry. He's a great player, but I love the idea that they said, we can have him, we have the money. Let's not do it. Let's stick with the plan. There was a soundbite about it's not in tune with what we're working towards in the future. And I respect that. As much as we credit teams for saying, screw it, let's go get everybody, it's sometimes harder to do nothing, and I think they might have preserved something next year.
Now, I get it. We've been patting the Jets on the back. We saw the move, them going for Kirk Cousins and not getting Kirk Cousins, but having a backup plan with McCown, getting Bridgewater. But still, if you have an opportunity to get an absolutely dominant player, then you go get that dominant player. I get where you're coming from, but what we love about this Jet defense is that it's controlled chaos. You know who else is controlled chaos? And that can anchor that controlled chaos is Ndamukong Suh. I played with him in Detroit. Now, regardless of what you may think about him early in his career, if you think that he has some immature moments, he is an absolute wrecker of offensive lines. Now, his numbers might not speak to that, but the surrounding pieces, and that's what's special about him being on any team. This young team with the young talent surrounding a guy that can anchor your defense, everybody will improve. He has that type of impact. So I'm a little bit more upset than you are that they didn't go all the way in, because here it is. Once again, it seemed like they swung big and missed with Kirk Cousins, and now they went out there and just kind of checked with Suh. It's like, I think I might bunt it, and they pulled the bat back.
But
now they're sitting out.
I think they did take a full swing. They offered him the most money, allegedly, of all the other teams that were in on it. He didn't take the bait. He's still out there deciding, which is his right. And they rescinded the offer. I tend to lean more with you, but what we do know is the Jets are out of it. So, Peter, we've still got the Rams, who probably are happy to hear the Jets are out of it because they offered him a huge price tag, something that the Rams maybe weren't as willing to do. Then you have the Titans, Jarrell Casey. That sounds nice. You have the Saints. All 3 great D-lines. What do you make of that?
It's interesting because I think, the Rams had this amazing dinner with him at Nobu in Malibu, and they thought this thing was put to bed. The owner came by. I think in their heads it was, okay, he's canceling with Oakland, and here we go, let's put it together. And then the next day you hear that the Jets are coming in as the high bidder, and suddenly if you're the Rams, it's like, I look at it the other way. I say, who does Ndamukong Suh think he is? I mean, this isn't LeBron James or Kevin Durant walking around and saying, all right, everyone make your best case for me. This isn't 32 teams in the market, and by the Jets owner, Chris Johnson, coming out there and rescinding publicly, saying we're not in it, it cripples Suh's negotiating power quite a bit. Because what if now the Rams say, hey, on Wednesday, we thought we had this thing, and then now you're going to come back to us with your tail between your legs, say, okay, yeah, no, actually, your offer was good enough. I think in so many words yesterday, what the Jets did, taking that offer off the table from Ndamukong Suh, it cripples his negotiating power, and it makes it very interesting because essentially he could have been a Ram, I think. I mean, we don't know the numbers or whatever, but the Rams obviously showed that they wanted him to be a part of their team. He said, okay, well, let me make one more call for the highest bidder. What does that say about what Ndamukong Suh is all about? Because clearly the Rams are closer to a championship than the Jets were, and that would have been a money play. Very interesting negotiating tactic by Ndamukong Suh to cancel the Raiders, but then say, okay, well, I'm entertaining from the Jets. And by the Jets rescinding the offer, I think it cripples him quite a bit. And I'm not sure if there is an open seat with the Rams and the Titans and the Saints anymore. We'll see how it plays out, but he certainly isn't the guy picking his destination. It's going to be, okay, well, who wants me, and can I still get some money from you guys?
Great stuff from Schrager there. Next topic right now. According to an anonymous NFC executive, Wyoming's Josh Allen is, quote, the best quarterback in this draft, with the Browns, the Giants, the Jets holding the top 4 overall picks. Should Josh Allen be the first quarterback off the board
Number
next
one?
month That's what an anonymous person is saying, so that's why we're talking about it, Kyle.
It is totally anonymous exec season, isn't it? Here's what makes me nervous about Josh Allen. We knew he was going to kill this thing. I mean, this is him showing up doing the fireworks display. It's like Adam Dunn hitting bad at practice, just cranking dingers.
Yeah.
What makes me nervous, okay, for some reason it comes back to Tim Tebow. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Tim Tebow, the minor league baseball player, he gets a shot every spring to face Max Scherzer, okay? Max Scherzer, this crazy ace, punches out on 3 pitches, okay? Wyoming football, with respect to it, is sort of like the minor leagues. A couple times he's gotten called up to the bigs, Josh Allen, and it's not gone well. It makes me very nervous that against Iowa, they scored 3 points. Against Nebraska, he had 6 turnovers and 5 picks. 6 turnovers, 5 picks, and then against Oregon, too, just nothing. So the idea that sure he had lower level of competition, he got his shots. They were almost like mini auditions. He did not shine. And you might say, well, what did Carson Wentz do? Carson Wentz's only shot, because they get compared a lot, Iowa State. He played a Big 12 opponent, played really well, and they won. So if I'm the guy who's saying Josh Allen's going to be the #1 pick, and he threw 5 picks against Nebraska, it makes me very nervous. That's why I say no.
You know, you said that it comes down to not just Josh Allen being out here, and you said it was like done at batting practice, or like Vince Carter in a layup line.
Duncan!
It's going to be amazing. But I think it comes down to trophies. And for me, it's the guys who actually hold the trophies. That's Lamar Jackson and Baker Mayfield. Now, Drake had a song called Trophies. In the beginning, he said, had hit records on my demos. Did y'all boys not get the memo? That's Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield. Did anybody
from the bottom.
Did they get the memo? Did anybody get the memo that Lamar Jackson and Baker Mayfield, they are the studs in this quarterback draft? Now, I get it. The hype is real. He's big. He's strong. He can throw with the best of them. But his demo in college, not as good as the demo of guys that actually have the trophy. So when we're talking about guys that should be going first overall, or should be the top quarterbacks taken, and will make an immediate impacts, it's the guys with the trophies.
To me, I right away think when I'm thinking, is he #1 overall? No, I think he's about #4 overall. It's what do you do if you're Buffalo? So you're Buffalo, and this guy has a completion percentage less than 60%. He's throwing 5 picks against Nebraska when he has a chance against big teams. Are you trading up from the 12 to the 4 to get him? If you can't, so if you can't get the 2, if you can't sell the farm and give the Kings ransom for the Giants spot at #2, do you go to 4 or do you not move at all?
You might not move at all. I may just ride AJ McCarron, truly, because to give up that much to get your 4th choice is tough.
With that big arm in the cold,
Sexy as hell, Kay.
cutting through the cold up in Buffalo.
You know what I would do? I would watch old tape of Ben Roethlisberger playing at small school and just absolutely killing it. There are guys who do it, but it's a lot to get your 4th choice. I don't know.
We'll talk more draft. We'll talk to Peter Schrager as well. But coming up, the owners have gathered in Orlando. We'll head there live and give you the very latest on what is happening around the league. We apparently are going to define